Good morning, everybody. Pleasure to have you here with me. I look like I just woke up, which I did. Novak got beat by the Italian Sinner. Congratulations to the countryman, Sinner. Here's to you. Can't believe the first time he got beat. Novak. Sammy the Bull Gravano is the biggest fraud on YouTube, a clown in the mob, maybe did one hit, and John Alite, who I said I want in the foxhole with me. A lot of the old timers know, yeah, Sammy the Bull was good with shaking down people and everything. John Gotti just only just kept him close to him. I mean, we can't unpack that. We got to get to John Alite. We got to get to John Alite. But Sammy the Bull is a sawed-off runt. And the more he carries on, I've said this all along, then I said I wasn't going to bash him, but he has got you folks, you Sammy the Bull Gravano punks, folks, he's got you. Can people's IQs just be that twisted? I mean, is this really the dumbing down of America? And then you clowns defend Sammy the Bull Gravano as far as what he represents? Wow. I don't know, folks. But John Alite was around, and Sammy was jealous of him because who do you think was running around doing these hits? Let's hear some of this. Let's hear some of this this interview. Let's hear some of this interview. Come on. What they're
And we're live. Another episode of The Honest Couple. I'm Felix Levine alongside the star of the show, John Alite. Quick reminder, if this is your first time watching our podcast,
can you hear this, Mike?
Hit that subscribe button, like this episode.
Good morning.
Comment below, all that good stuff. We're also on Patreon. The link to our Patreon channel.
I don't have Patreon. Nobody even donates to this channel. I talk to the people. But John Alite, that stroke, Sammy the Bull Gravano still owes John Alite $3,000 from when he was pinched and he got him a lawyer. That Doug Anton. You talk about the snake rat rodent that ever existed. He's running around telling all kinds of garbage pail stories. Sickening. I wish the old timers were around because they would smash him. Why isn't he in New York? This big mob hitman. Why isn't he in New York? John Alite walks the streets everywhere. Why isn't he in New York? And you'd think there'd be more people gunning for John Alite because he was a true enforcer, and Sammy the Bull puts himself up there. He might have did one hit that was ordered or something. Go back to New York City. You're a Brooklyn guy, Sammy the Bull Gravano. You're hiding out there in some cornfield like a bum.
Channel is in the description of this video. We post all our content on there early. Bonus content, early access.
All right, enough of this promo.
You can ask John. You can call into the show.
Call your. Come on.
Well, the thing about Sammy is, he's famous for one reason. I mean, he's pretty famous. He's well known, and he's famous because he ratted on John Gotti. I mean, that's as simple as that. If it wasn't John Gotti that he spoke about, really, not too many people would know who he is. He gave up the father, and he came home and lived off that reputation.
Sammy the Bull was a street bum, and the only reason why he was made an underboss was John Gotti just wanted to keep him close because he had a lot of stuff on John Gotti, and he just wanted to keep him close. Underboss, Sammy the Bull Gravano, underboss. It's
of being John Gotti's whatever, downfall of John Gotti. I don't want to even use the word rat. I really don't care for that word one way or another. And I'm not saying it because the reason why I'm going to bring this out is because he's done a lot of talking. But from jail, he was with a friend of mine, Kevin Bonham. And Kevin grew up with me. And Kevin did about 25 years, I believe, total. And, guys will call guys rats and this and that and whatever. He did 25 years.
All right. If you want to forget about the rat, okay. Who's a rat? Here a rat. Everywhere a rat. All right. If you guys want to just set that aside, just what about straight up mob lies on what he represented? Even if you don't want to get into this rat debate, let's just talk about the lion rodent. He's a sawed-off runt. What is he, 5'2", 5'3"? He's a sawed-off runt.
He'd give information against me. I got no hard feelings towards him or anybody else. I moved my life on. He held out. I got to tell you, so I'll talk about Kevin. He held out. They hit him with a case. He held out. They hit him with another case. Hit him with a third case. Tried to hit him with a lifetime fourth case. Finally, he caved in. And he dropped the cards and he goes, that's it, I'm done. And I get it. And I got no hard feelings for him. I like him. But Kevin was straight up guy. Nice guy. Good looking guy. Gangster. Dressed well. And he was with Sammy. So Sammy knew a lot about me from being with Kevin all these years in Minnesota, or actually they were at. So when he pretends he doesn't know me, there's the first lie. Or he doesn't know much about me. He knows a lot about me because my friend told him at the time that you don't know him. And if you ever spoke to him that way or tried anything with him that way, John would have killed you. That I would have killed him, he told him. Now, when Sammy talks from prison, he knew I was friendly with his daughter. I was family. And he asked his daughter to ask me, can I get him a lawyer? Which I brought him to, again, because we're talking about him all week because of the senator's case and the corruption, Doug Anton. Now, I brought him Doug Anton to be an attorney for him and also an attorney for his daughter, for Karen. And he worked their entertainment case and helped Sammy on some legal matters he had while he was in jail. So he reached out to me initially from jail. I never reached out to him. When he was on the street, John wanted to kill him. Now, he knows that. We had these conversations. I put some pictures out with me and him at Newark Airport at the time with a third guy that doesn't want to be.
Sammy the Bull calls himself an underboss. You see in the street where he's holding the umbrella up. He's holding the umbrella for John Gotti, and they're walking down the street. And an underboss, a real underboss, skipper, captain, they ain't holding the umbrella for anybody. He's a punk, straight punk bum. He's trying to bamboozle John Gotti because he's betraying him left and right. And he knew that John Gotti knew it. And this guy, John Alite, should have smashed him.
Involved with the life of him. It was also a made guy. Was also at one time part of Sammy's crew. And another guy, little Joey, whose father's banking, who also stayed with Sammy. And Joey was also friendly with me and was also a made guy with the Gambino family. So when he pretends that he doesn't know, this is the beginning of he's building the foundation of being a liar. And he's a good liar. He's good at lying. And when he goes ahead and he tells his story, he doesn't start from the beginning. At the beginning of Sammy's career, he wasn't around.
See, listen to John Alite. Now, this John Alite is Albanian. He could never be a made guy. He did work all over the place. So just for the fact that he wasn't made, he's not respectable or honorable. This guy was the real deal. Just like my godfather didn't have to play allegiance to the Colombos and say, "Oh, I want to be made." You got to. They'll make no. He's his own one man show. Yeah, he was loyal to the Colombos, but he also did some work for some other families. So these are the treacherous guys. Sammy the Bull Gravano wasn't one of them. Sammy the Bull gets on these shows and has writers and editors. Sammy the Bull Gravano will say, "Well, let's paint this picture," and then the writers will fill it in with gibberish, straight gibberish. He was a sawed-off front clown, and forget about being a rat. He just, how do you know when Sammy the Bull Gravano is lying? When his lips are moving.
Gangsters, he had no money, he was broke, he was in his 20s. He had really very small affiliation when he was younger. He was a run around with some guys and gang members and whatever they were doing. Yeah, okay, he did kid shit. It's not impressing anybody. We're all on the street. And actually, my friends as kids, I always said I wasn't wild, but my friends were. At 12, 13, 14 years old, these guys were killing already, committing murders. Not just robbing, but committing murders, all of them. So I was exposed to dangerous guys at a very young age before anybody. I was exposed to the mob at 3 years old, to Blackie, Al Greco, and serious killers and gangsters like Charlie Luciano from my father. So I've been around them since a baby. Unlike him, he wasn't. Now, as time goes on, he gets involved with the Colombo family.
See, you hear what he says. Sammy the Gravano was a run-around street guy, supposed to be a street fighter, run-around guy. Had no lineage from his heritage or anything from his ancestors. Had no lineage to the mob or any specific mob family. Even though John Alite is Albanian, half Albanian, and Italian or Sicilian or whatever, but he still was around people connected to the mob. Sammy the Bull Gravano, just a blank slate, just running around like those Westies, just like street kid gang stuff. You know, kiddie land, straight up kiddie land.
So when people say to me, you know, did he just come up from anywhere? He came up from the Colombo family, and the Colombo family chased him. They were contemplating killing him.
Yep.
And I think I spoke of this already. His friend Louis Menino brought him around. The Gambino family saved his life. So when Sammy's discussing things about how the structure of the mafia works, I know better than him. He wasn't around till later on in life. I was around since I'm a kid.
Facts.
My question is...
Facts.
Very flat out. Is Sammy Gravano a fraud?
No.
100%. He's a fraud. And guys, you know, Joey DeChico, that's Frankie DeChico's brother, they call him Butter, did a video about that, you know, during the trials. He called him every name in the book in a video, and he called him out. He said the guy's a fraud. And he really is a fraud. I mean, he's somewhat of a gangster, don't get me wrong.
Like what? Okay, so let's, because I think it's important, right? We don't want to do this. We're not here to just say one thing without backing it up, right? I guess, how is he a gangster? How is he not? And where is like the fraud part, right?
School him, John.
When you're talking about a gangster, I'm talking about what we said on the other show about Lucky Luciano. That's a well-dressed guy, right? Carries himself well. I'm going to start from each section. Sammy isn't a well-dressed guy, and he wasn't well-spoken. He wasn't very educated, and he's not a well-dressed guy.
Stu Knotts, so, fourth grade education.
He's not a guy that you can bring around and you can sit down with.
You couldn't sit down. He's not a guy you could bring around. Now, I was around guys that were good-looking, captain, nice, classy, articulate, well-educated in life and their vernacular and all that kind of stuff. This guy, now forgive me because he did have a learning disability, dyslexia or whatever, but people overcome that. They wouldn't bring this guy around to be around the real brass, the class brass of the mob. Let's go, Johnny. Like
legitimate businessmen with class, and I'm talking about CEOs and people that are in marketing or in different places, because the ignorance and the way he carries himself will come out.
A bum
with his hands. He just isn't. He's not a sharp, dignified.
No,
guy. He's just not. It's just not his thing, right? He grew up, a little dumb, I guess. Is not educated. He's not well traveled around the world, right? So I'll talk about guys that travel around the world, and he's not one of them. So there's things, right, that's typical that you can see that he's not, a sharp guy. Now,
well, whether you travel around the world or not, John, I mean, that's a lot of people don't travel around the world, but I'm still on board with you.
Okay. Now, is he a guy that is soft-spoken and businesslike? And, there's a million guys, like we'll use Tommy Gambino. I'm going to use some of the guys that was very soft-spoken, very intelligent business guy, carried himself like a gentleman. No, he's not in that category. Now, the next category, is he a thug? Personally, no. Did he align himself with guys that were tough guys like Frankie DeChico? Yes. Did he understand the street to maneuver himself near these guys? Yes. But is he personally a shooter? Absolutely not.
There you go. So now he was smart enough and cunning enough to stay close to Frankie DeChico and gain his friendship, and maybe to defend him or not. And the other brother,
since he's a kid, he's not.
So I'm not personally familiar, so I don't want to say that I am with how many people he said he's, hurt. Have you heard the numbers that he throws out?
Here's what I'm going to tell you. He's a small guy. You see pictures with me. So he's not going to physically hurt too many guys. And he's not qualified as a UFC fighter. He boxed a little bit. He says, I seen him. I'm not very impressed. Over the years, I'm talking about Teddy Atlas said that he sucks with his hands, who's one of the greatest trainers around that's knowledgeable in the boxing business. I stayed with Bobby Chaz, 3-time champ. I stayed with Jerry Cooney. I stayed with Prince by D. Yeah. That's exactly.
See, John Alite can verify the things that he says. Sammy the Bull Gravano just throws all this garbage up against the wall, and it's just gibberish. It's gibberish. This is 2024. It's a new age, and this is just social media, MobTube, YouTube, and it's just like he's totally going against everything that the mob represented. He's on social media. Yes, he's successful with his channel. I got 3 Michaels in here. Amari, Candinas, and Mormil. 3 mics. Good morning to all of you guys. So John Alite, who I want in my foxhole if I got to go to war, who was a dangerous, treacherous guy and can back up everything. Well, he wasn't a made man. BMX, and we got a David, and can back up. It is such a fraud that he put himself to be, because he weaseled his way in. John Gotti only kept him close for certain reasons, and that's why he made him an underboss. Come on, John Alite. This is a real gangster that wasn't even a made man, okay? You don't need a title. Well, you got to have a title. Some viewers might say, well, he wasn't a made man. You don't need a title. My godfather wasn't a made man. And he was just as treacherous or more treacherous than John Alite. I don't think you can get more treacherous. It's a dead heat. It's a tie when you're just Rambo killers. So you don't have to be a made man. Or if you don't have a title, then you're not legitimate. Oh, yeah, okay.
Great. His height, I got a picture next to me and him.
Agent.
And I look like I'm 6'2" next to him, and I'm 5'8", so, and we'll put that picture up. But, so these qualifications he just doesn't have. Does he know a lot of guys? Yeah. But when the guy doesn't, like when he talks about gas pipe, and I'm going to give you some things and we could cover it. And he says gas pipe was a dummy, he's full of shit. He was petrified of gas pipe and Vicamuso. And not that I'm just saying that, but they killed all our guys and we didn't retribute. So I want to know what his answer.
They were going around and killing all them guys left and right, left and right. Sammy the Bull Gravano, you're the big enforcer. You're the big enforcer. Why did these guys just get a free pass? You the big Sammy the Bull, the big enforcer for Gambino. What happened? What happened? I mean, come on. He got traded like a player from Colombo because they were going to shred him out. That's where my godfather was. He should have got him. And they brung that runt over there.
You understand, like, you know, if you're going to talk that you were this killer and you're good at it and you're talking this smack, then why didn't you retaliate any of the murders of our guys?
Right.
Okay. What do you think Sammy was, or what was he good at?
He's a good bullshit artist. No, he knew how to bullshit his way to construction industry. He knew
so what do you mean by that? Like, explain, what would that look like?
Well, he opened up construction companies, right? John wasn't a businessman. John Gotti, Sr.
Gotti, yeah. Sammy the Bull Gravano he was good with the construction and fixing contracts and the unions and all that. Gotti let him take care of that. We were selling steel and in an office, we were selling steel. And one of the, for rebar steel or whatever, was a company for Sammy the Bull Gravano's company back in the day. That, you know, they were running it under DBAs and doing business as whatever, but it was actually a Sammy the Bull Gravano. And let's continue.
He'll say it himself. He was just through and through a gangster. He went on the street. He didn't care about money. He really didn't. I can tell you all the good qualities of John.
Got it.
Sammy didn't grow up or know John. He didn't even know him until, 82 or 83. He met him once or twice. So before the hit of Castellano, he didn't even know the guy. John did not know Sammy like that. Sammy did not sleep in John Gotti's house. I did. He didn't grow up in that family's household. I did.
Facts.
He didn't have, John Sr. never trusted him. He didn't have any kind of real trust of the guy. He trusted Frankie DeChico. He trusted Georgie DeChico, his brother. He trusted and loved Joey DeChico, who we call Butter. That's John's loyalty was there. Sammy implemented himself in that storyline. So later on, when Castellano gets hit, and he doesn't stop talking about it, because that's all he has to try to build himself up to the public.
Yeah, and then everybody, the great publicized hit on Paul Castellano that rose Sammy the Bull Gravano up into rank, it was he didn't even commit it. He wasn't nowhere around the scene. But he knew how to manipulate the story, and for however he wants to change the narrative, promote himself in higher esteem.
It's the Castellano hit. He was solely a made guy only. He wasn't in John's inner circle.
Never.
He wasn't close to Jeannie Gotti. He wasn't close to Johnny Koenig. He wasn't close.
I know old timers. He didn't come onto the scene. It wasn't like these guys were running around Brooklyn as friends and then they came up in the ranks in the mafia and all that kind of stuff. John Alite was running around, uh, born into people connected to the mob. Sammy the Bull Gravano wasn't. He doesn't even become a friend to John Gotti till late in the game, historically speaking. We got another mic. We got 4 mics and an A hammer in here. Long time. All right. Everything's good here, Mr. Tadaro. He's got a last name Tadaro. I'll call him Mr. Good to see you, Mike.
To Tony Roach. He wasn't close to Joey Scopo, although
He wasn't.
Joey Scopo was the acting boss of the Colombo family, becomes, and Ralphie Scopo, his father. He had no friendships with them. And they were Colombo guys. He had no friendships with them, but Joey was very close and grew up with the Gottis. So when you're talking about hitting a sitting boss, John did not trust Sammy in those conversations. He trusted Frankie. Did Frankie repeat some of these conversations to Sammy? Yeah, probably. That's probably exactly what happened. But Sammy was only a made guy at the time. He's trying to make himself out to the public like he was John's underboss at that time. I was with John in the car. I drove past the body. It's impossible he drove past that body in Manhattan on 40, I believe it's, we always go through Sparks. I believe it's 46th Street or 44th Street. Sparks is between 2nd and 3rd Avenue. But it's impossible. You couldn't even get past it if you wanted to during Christmas. And with a body laying in the street, you didn't drive past it. So these are complete lies. Nobody's questioning them.
Fairy tale.
If Senior was sitting with us right now, how would he describe Sammy Gravano?
He described him to me at the wake I said in Brooklyn. He looked at me because I said hello to Sammy and I was small talking with him. And Sammy said, same thing. Sammy didn't really know me. I was part of John's crew. People don't understand there's hundreds of us. And we say hello and goodbye. Unless you have business with them, you don't talk to them. It's hello and goodbye unless you're talking some small talk about a football game, a baseball game or something. But John made it very specific to me. I do not want you talking to him again. And I didn't really understand it. And I'm wondering why he didn't want me sitting there talking to him. And then I understood later on because he made some comments basically saying to me, if this guy's got to go, I don't want you friendly with him. He didn't say those words directly, but that's what he's saying, that you're going to have to kill this guy. So he wanted to make sure I never got friendly with a guy so you wouldn't have to worry about ever getting the order to kill the guy. It wouldn't bother you at the least. You just kill him. No hesitation. Now, Sammy can try to elevate himself in John's mind, but if John had respect for Johnny Kinnick, I never seen Johnny Kinnick carry an umbrella from him. And I don't mean that. I joke about it at times. I make fun of him. But I'm not saying this to be sarcastic towards him right now. He wouldn't even think of asking Johnny Kinnick to do that, and Johnny Kinnick would never do it.
Hey, Johnny Kinnicks, get over here and carry my umbrella for me as we walk down the street here. Sammy the Bull is such a weasel, and he was jealous, and he was jealous. And that's why he always had this backstabbing betrayal in the back of his mind. Because he knew that they knew he was a sawed-off runt. A skipper or underboss holding an umbrella for the boss like a little bitch.
He would laugh at him and throw the umbrella at him if somebody knew the way Johnny was. He was a different relationship with Senior. But when Senior needed to kill somebody, he would have told Angelo Ruggiero, right? He would have told Johnny Kinnick. He would have told his brother, even though they don't argue with each other, they're brothers. He would have told his inner circle, and Sammy wasn't part of that inner circle.
No.
And there's no way he would trust his life in the hands of a guy that only has one murder under his belt. He was a shooter once.
So you believe Sammy only shot one person?
No, I know he did. It's in the court records. It's not me just making it up.
Which court records did
when he testified? That he admitted he only killed one person by his own hand. The problem is he's deluding himself into telling people he's good at killing. I'm a good murderer. And then he went after me and said, I'm embellishing. I don't need to embellish. I rap off a list of...
You can fact check everything John Alite says. All this garbage that Sammy the Bull Gravano, and hey, Mike, all these mics in here. Everything that, Sammy the Bull Gravano is portrayed and misperceived. It's like it's just urinating on the real true narrative of these people that most are passed away, and a guy's got just free reign to get up there and just crap on the Gaudis and all the historical accounts on everything. John Alite, whether he is a made man or not, is irrelevant. He was there, and then they say, "Oh, we didn't see John Alite around that much, or we didn't." You didn't have to just be out and seen, recognizable, and all these. These guys were used for certain situations and for certain purposes, and it doesn't. You can't legitimize them or dismiss them just based on, oh, well, I was around all the time, and we really didn't see this guy or that guy. Come on, folks.
Names. I've done things too.
Yeah.
And it's not in a bragging way. It's just that's what I did. That's what John had me around.
I gotta welcome DC White Boy. Welcome to how you been, DC? I got it. Sorry for stopping the video. There's one guy that donated to my channel. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Hang in there with me. I'm still trying. I'm up almost to 700 subscribers. Forgive me. This is unedited and everything else. I put up 400 videos. We're rising up. And thank you for your support, DC. Been riding with me. Maybe someday I could have better equipment in here or something. I'm begging. Let's continue, my good people.
For. That's what I was around his son for. And there's enough people and enough names and enough agents that have been on stages and talking that this is very easy to find out. Is he lying or is he not? Well, I've been on stages with the head of the Gambino squad, and I talked to a group of kids with Phil Scala. I also talk on stage with you.
John Alite is in the streets trying to help out the youth and all this good stuff. Good humanitarian things. We're this big mob enforcer, self-labeled mob enforcer, Sammy the Bull Gravano. You're such a tough guy. Go walk the streets of Brooklyn, where you're supposed to be. Nobody's gonna mess with you anyways, bro. There's nobody gunning for anybody. Come on, man. Go walk the streets. You're in a cornfield somewhere. You're in a cave. Thank you, DC. Thank you. Thank you for supporting me. I don't have a lot. I really don't. I don't mean to sound like a beggar, but thank you for your support, DC. There's good people out there. And we could say all this stuff, and we could unpack John Alite's narrative about historical accounts and everything else. And in Sammy the Bull Gravano's defense, which pains me, he's a good bullshit artist. And he gets a lot of views. So if that's all people want to derive from entertainment is a good bullshit artist, then of course he's going to have a successful channel. But in the same breath, he's urinating all over the real facts in the historical account. And poor John Gotti. Gosh.
Ted Otto. These guys know exactly what's accurate and what isn't accurate. So when they talk about by your own hand, I've said name after name of people I shot, where I shot them, in the head, in the chest, baseball batted guys and killed them, put them into comas. I've said it over by name, by location, by date. I don't need to embellish from 30 to 40, right? Because those are the numbers for me. Now, Sammy has never directly, he'll never say with you, where you can directly ask him these questions. And so I say he's a fraud in that manner. Was he involved in a mob? Yeah. Was he a made guy? Yes. Did they elevate him after the hit? Yes. Because he had nowhere to go after that hit. He was involved in those conversations with Frankie DeChico. When Frankie gets blown up, John knows that he's got to keep Sammy close to him because he doesn't trust him. He also knows that he's weak, that he may try to set him up if he lets him.
That's why. That's what I was trying to say. He only got that rank and title because John Gotti was smart enough as a chess player to just say, I got to keep this weasel close. Keep an eye on this weasel. And Frankie the Chico, they knew, I believe Sammy the Bull Gravano was jealous of that relationship between Frankie and John. I think he was jealous. And that's why he is the way he is. He knew he wasn't a real gangster with class and esteem and carry yourself. He was a street bum.
Stray somewhere else. So he pulls him closer. This is one of the most intelligent moves John made. Now you got him on your lap. You kill him when you want. You can abuse him the way you did. You can make him carry umbrellas. You can make him do anything you want, like a trick, like a monkey. No different than Sammy does now when he puts certain guys on the show with him. He manipulates them. And I'm going to say, sadly, because I like Anthony Ruggiano, I'm the one that brought him into this genre. The same way I brought Sammy into this genre. The same way I brought in the Bobby.
John Alite, Philly Bob, and Mike and DC White Boy, thank you. John Alite brought all these interesting characters into this social YouTube genre. He brought them in.
From Boston into this genre. The same way I brought Anthony Aralata into this genre. The same way I brought Gene Barella in this genre. I basically brought them all in. So any of these
to
guys...
add, also, you brought them in with the intentions of helping them, giving them a platform to better their lives.
Yeah.
Now what they did is what they did.
Yeah. But the problem with most of these guys, and excluding Anthony Aralata, because I like Anthony, and Anthony never did anything to me in a betrayal way.
People don't like him.
Ruggiano, I told him come in because I grew up around them, and his father was a serious killer, serious guy that didn't go to jail when he became one of the bosses, or the boss of the family probably, but he went to prison. Now, I know why Anthony went on Sammy's show, but Sammy only uses these guys because he's out of material. He's got to justify and make himself look like.
Sammy's out of material from all that bull crap. His writers are getting writer's cramp because they can't write up any more garbage. So then he brings these other guys on, these interesting characters. And of course, he's telling them, let's not really unpack things too seriously here. Just give it a brush over, and we won't ever get into the nitty-gritty about true historical facts and accounts. Thank you, Mike, David, and thank you, DC White Boy, only guy that ever donated to my channel. Thank you, DC White Boy. I appreciate it. Let's continue on.
He brings these guys on, and they kind of justify whatever he says, and they're not being their own men. And discussing.
Forgive me, I'm begging, but I have a Cash App, and forgive me, YouTube, because YouTube takes a piece of the action from the membership through them. I have a Cash App where I get 100% of it. Now, I don't mean to offend YouTube. I hope I'm not breaking any rules here. Okay.
Sammy will never want to sit with me because I'll call him out. And I'll sit here and I'll tell factual stories about the guy. And I don't like to use the word Fat Sal because that's his nickname in the mall. Sal's very intelligent, money maker. He was one of the guys that was setting up to hit Sammy. Sammy tells that story in Arizona, and he completely changes the factual stories of what Sal did. And Sal's way, way too intelligent for him. Sal's the one that started all these guys in the bank robbery business. He taught them all how to rob banks, so the people that don't know. And Sal's intelligent moneymaker, legitimately.
We're going to move on here.
He goes in the food business.
He's giving a narrative. He's talking about Big Fat Sal, who was, they were robbing banks and all that kind of stuff. But, and I see the like button. My ratio to views and like button is the highest on YouTube. I get small numbers of views, but the ratio, like if I get 100 views, I might get 19 likes. 19% ratio, 19% likes to views. So I appreciate that. My numbers are high, and I'm just a small channel, but I'm growing. Okay, analytically speaking, we're not going to unpack all that. I'm going to randomly move up. This is an hour-long video, and I know you guys are getting the gist of this. And I'm just going to randomly move up into here because this is an hour-long conversation. Let's just randomly go. Boom.
That hit, he had no idea the hit teams got changed twice. So there's another embellishment on his.
He's talking about the Gotti
discussions, but not,
he's talking about the Castellano hit. Let's go.
Not directly with John Gotti Sr. either. And John, later on, needed somebody after Frankie dies, so people in the public understand this. He needed a younger guy that had guys on the street that knew all of Frankie's guys that could take that crew and bring them in. Right now, he knew Sammy was vulnerable. If John doesn't take him in and tells him, see you later, Sammy ends up in a ditch. They kill him. Genovese family kills him. Lucchese family kills him. The Colombo family, half of them hate him already. Anyway.
Of course.
He's going to get killed. So he had no way to.
The Colombo family hated him. That's why they traded him. He knew. Or Genovese or Lucchese. I don't think people truly understand who this Sammy the Bull Gravano was and is.
But to go up John's ass. And he doesn't tell that part of the story.
Of course not.
And John knew by bringing Sammy closer and making him a skipper, that's what he made him after that. And then Frankie gets blown up. Now he needs a position. And he asked Frankie Lucasio to take the position, the Bronx guy, take the position of underboss. Frankie don't want no part of it. Frankie was very quiet, little low-key guy back. So Frankie didn't want no part of it. And it's another thing Sammy does. He acts like Frankie Lucasio liked him. Frankie Lucasio would have tore his head off if he ever got out of jail and had him killed if he could. So when these are all complete lies and embellishments on Sammy that Frankie Lucasio was cursing out John and he was this. He might have been cursing out John like everybody talking nonsense, but he was pretty loyal to John. But he definitely wasn't talking good about Sammy after Sammy was a rat. So this is ridiculous, and whoever buys into this. And how I know, and I'll tell everybody how I know, is I'm the guy that was helping Frankie Lucasio or trying to help Frankie Lucasio get out of jail on that case.
He was there. He was there. That's how he knows. He's spitting straight facts. Facts. And, well, everybody's got their favorites and their heroes and mob heroes and everything. And I think this says enough. I mean, we got it in. And but it pains me that Sammy the Bull just piggybacked in. He piggybacked in. It was the perfect storm for being the cunning guy to jump in there like that, where he knew all along that John Gotti knew the weasel he was, and they were gonna hit him, and then that's when he turned, and the rest is history. But he owes John A like $3,000. Where's all that money? You're out living in a cave. You don't even go out and where are you in the heartland of America? A New York City mob enforcer, a Brooklyn boy mob enforcer, tough guy, sawed off runt. You can't even go to the streets. This big tough guy. You're in a cave, out and eating Idaho potatoes. I don't want to say, well, listen, if they wanted to get you, Sammy, they would have got you. The coast is clear. You could go to New York. You're 80 years old. What? Come on, man. This big sawed-off runt that's supposed to be the tough guy of the Gambino family, he's hiding like a scared little Girl Scout out there. Okay, we'll put reality and historical facts over here, and then we'll put Oh yeah, he can make up and lie about these stories, and he's got writers, and then of course that people like to hear him. Yes, it's entertainment. It is entertainment. He's riding this recognizable name that is all fairy tale. He made his name based on fairy tales, and now he's riding the wave, which is smart. Which is smart. But I like the real deal. Like John Alite said, when I say there was an event and these good-looking guys came along, dressed, sophisticated, they came on and represented the mafia the way it should be. He was running around in sneakers and a chef or whatever, like a street bum. And then he rides the wave of nobody. John Alite, and Gene Barillo, John Alite and Gene Barillo were talking, and you know, Gene more or less likes Sammy, and they disagree about Sammy. But any thinking person out there would know John Alite is 100% correct. And Gene tries to disgrace Joey Merlino because Gene wants to just be the top-notch tough guy. Joey Merlino was no slouch. Joey Merlino wasn't a slouch at all. John Alite respects him. Gene doesn't. Gene doesn't. Gene's just a Rambo. Gene is Gene. He's a Rambo. And Gene tries to discredit the Philly mob and says, well, they had, the Philly mob had 7 people in it, blah, 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 and that's one crew in New York. Well, you can't. Numbers don't mean nothing. Just like John Alite says, that doesn't defer from the fact that you could just be a one-man crew and be dangerous, not by geographical location and numbers. My godfather was a one-man crew. He was a treacherous guy. John Alite was a one-man guy crew. He wasn't made into their families, but they were treacherous. Yeah, John Alite was talking about about his daughter. And I don't like to talk a lot of smack, when you get to the people like the wives and the children or anything like Mike Francis, because I get so peed off about Mike Francis and that garbage he's spewing on his channel, self-proclaimed mob boss. And if you really want to get down to the nitty-gritty and talk about some of his personal things, which sometimes I don't really want to tread there. Yeah, I mean, how far do you go on social media? But I was around and I saw him, and he's full of crap, Mike Francis. But these are the 2 biggest mafia content channels on YouTube. So they must be entertaining because both of these guys are full of crap. But they got production, they got writers, they got all the fluff, and they get large numbers. But John Alite, however you view him or try to discredit him, no. And I've heard guys, I'm 60, I've heard these old timers, 75, RP, thank you, MC, thank you. And I've heard them say John Alite is more of a gangster than Sammy the Bull Gravano and Mike Francis. Combined, they don't equal half of John Alite. Well, he wasn't a made man. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? When you handle your business efficiently, that's your report card. That's your report card. Passing grades. I was on a dean's list every semester in my academic career. This was sidebar. I know that's immature. So that's entertainment that's married or divorced from the truth And I just feel sorry for poor John Gotti. I mean, the real gangster. I feel sorry for him that you got a rodent like Sammy the Bull Gravano that's he makes you puke. He'll make you puke. I perceive things. My perceptions when I watch these videos is different than the average Joe public because I saw firsthand the collateral damage. You know, Brittany Aguirre. Good morning, my good-looking girl. I feel more slanted by that garbage because I thought Mike Francis, well groomed, classy. I give him that. I give him that. He's good looking, dressed nice, class, the way it should be. But I view Erica. That's my girl. Everything's good. I'm doing my thing. I'm up to 670 subscribers and I'm rocking and rolling. I'm bashing Sammy the Bull Gravano and I'm putting John Alite up into the highest esteem. I love you, honey. I love you. First time in my comments. And yep. Always praying for you. Please stay out of trouble. I never did time in jail. I'm too smart. I'm too smart. And listen, anything I say on here about this or that could be lies, just like Mike Francis and Sammy the Bull Gravano. Maybe I'm just a good storyteller. Disclaimer alert. I'm just a bullshit artist, and everything I said and wrote and everything else is just fairy tale entertainment, okay? Just like Sammy the Bull Gravano and Mike Francis, okay? So we could put that disclaimer in there too, because we could be real cute also, all right? We could be real cute. So I look at things different. I seen the fallout. I seen the sorrow. People going to prison with their kids in tow, and stand-up guys that did their time like the real mafia did. You know, the real people, class. So where do you stand on, well, we just like entertainment and Mike and Sammy tell good stories, or we like John Alite who comes with facts? Maybe a person likes it all. They love it all. They're all successful channels. Yes, they love it all. And who cares about who's lying and who's bullcrapping? Me personally, it affects me different because I was around, and it affects me more than the just Joe common viewer. So that's where we stand here, okay? Haishna, I'm going to be heading down to Florida, hopefully, if I can get some donations here on my channel. Oh, well, thank you, DC White Boy, for helping me out once again. I appreciate your support. And let's get to 700 subscribers, all right? I've been censored. I've been blocked. I've been everything under the sun. I'm not going to talk politics anymore. So we're just going to get on this. I'm going to piggyback. These guys. But I do want to integrate other content onto this channel. Maybe about some interesting topics like relationships, psychology, drug addiction, and other types of topics. I'm just not gonna, you could only have so much content. I've told a million stories and now I'm doing reactions to other people's videos. So, you know, how far, so I got to diversify at some point. I have to diversify. But will it get views and numbers? That's another story. But you know, I don't give up. Over 400 videos in 2 years, the hard way. Look at my studio, the hard way. But I'm confident that I'm better than all of them as a talk show host. I'm more likable. I talk to the people in my comments. I'm confident, and you folks should be confident in any goals or aspirations you have. Be the kings and queens of your world, like Erica Jamil in there and Brittany Aguirre. Be the kings and queens. You got dreams and goals? Yeah. I started from scratch, life support, dead. My mind was blank. You can rise up. It's a miracle I'm here talking. So, the mob world, who we like, who we hate, and everything else. Outside of that, let's rise up. Let's laugh. Let's laugh. Now listen, Mike Francis. Now listen. Never cracked a smile once in 10,000 videos. Sammy the Bull Gravano and all of his crap. They don't even, they're not personable. They're not personable. I liked being personal with some of those gangster friends. It just wasn't, they were friends. They were friends that happened to do things, but they were just friends and had fun and laughed and had enjoyment. There was a lot of fun in the mafia with just running rackets and doing whatever they did. It was fun, being personable, not Mama Lukes like Mike and Sammy. They're Mama Lukes as far as the mob is concerned. Mama Lukes, they're not even real gangsters. They're not even real gangsters. Look how they earned their rank, their phony ranks. Look how they earned their phony rank. An underboss that was nothing, and Mike self-proclaimed himself to be a mob boss. These are your heroes. These are your YouTube mafia heroes. It's the complete joke of the century. Nobody tells a story like you, Uncle Joe. Please do not cuss because I am with the little one. No, I'm not cussing anymore. Did I cuss? No, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm behaving. I'm behaving. That's all. I'm behaving. I got my niece in here, and she's a beautiful woman, and she rises up. She's a strong woman, and everybody should maintain outside of this stuff to be whatever your dreams are. I wrote a book. It might have sold 2 copies. You know what? But I'm the best author. It'll catch up. The world will catch up to me. I'll lay it down. I'll lay it down. There's little Uncle Joe, honey. I'll lay it down. I'm the best author on planet Earth. I got to wait for the world to catch up. The link is in there. The link is in there for the book and Cash App. Get fish hooks out of your pockets, folks, and start supporting my channel. 400 videos. You buy that Mike Francis wine, that swamp water, whatever that is. You're supporting millionaires. You're supporting millionaires out there, and it's crickets when it comes to supporting my channel. I do appreciate your views and subscriptions. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. I do appreciate that. And hit the like button. I do appreciate that. And DC White Boy, you hardly ever come in here and comment and talk. And you're the only one that donated to my channel, and maybe another guy or something. But I appreciate that. True people. True people. Brittany. So we're going to leave this. Philly Bob, thanks, man. Thanks. I give it to you straight. I talk to the people, and I knew Mike Francis back in the day. He would probably never agree and say, "Oh, whatever," because they're all fairy tales. They think everybody's dead. They think everybody's dead. I was dead, and I was on life support, but I'm back. I'm back. Yeah. You see these guys and their marketing and what they're spewing. You could feel a sense like that. With me, you got the real, natural, real guy. How you doing? Let's tell a joke. Let's laugh. Let's go get a sandwich. I hope you're buying, but we'll leave it at that. All right. We're going to end this under an hour. I love you, Heshna. Thank you, Brittany, Philly. Mike Tadaro, and everybody else that helps me out. Mike Amari, Candinas. We got a lot of mics in here. Thank you. And I can't wait if I could get down there to see you, honey. I got to save up some cash and try to go see you and Uncle Jimmy, and we'll all have fun, and we'll live, we'll love, and we'll laugh. All right. So thank you to everybody. Kiss the kids for me, even the teenager, because you guys know me. Yep. So we'll leave it at that. John Alite is the man. I like listening to him. You get a different feeling when you hear him. If you, like Jesus says, if you got eyes to see, then see. And if you got ears to hear, then hear. With discernment, if you're not just interested in entertainment and fairy tales, and you want to reach somebody and profile them, well, you check them out. Check them out. So we'll leave it at that. John A. Light and Mikey Scars, thank you. I don't know if it was your camp or it was just an imposter to keep going and you liked the video or something. If you liked the video, and it felt good that, I don't know if it was somebody from your camp. They said yes. And Mikey Scars, yeah, I mean, I like them as people. I like them as people. What you had to do in the mob is the mob. I like you as a person to go to the racetrack and gamble with and have some fun and be friends. Forget about mobs and a rat and this, all that, and all that. Just as regular human beings. Just as regular, Uncle Joe, you have to tell a porta potty story. I've never laughed so hard in my life. Yeah, we'll do that next time. Oh, wow. Mikey Scars and John are good people. Yeah, you can see that essence of their persona. They're humanitarians. They're trying hard. Who cares about their mob life? Where's your hero, Mike Francis? He's in a fortress in California, as far away from New York City as you can get. Where's Sammy the Bull Gravano, a New York City boy? He's in a cave somewhere. He's in a cave somewhere. These are New York City. These are your heroes. These are your heroes, your New York City mob narrative personalities on YouTube. These are your heroes. I guess it must be entertainment that you're looking for and bullcrap stories that they spew. And who cares whether they're honorable gangsters? Their rank and titles is also garbage. They're not even the rank and title that they claim to possess. These are the YouTube mob channel heroes because they got production. Sammy the Bull has a recognizable name and they could ride the waves. But I'll tell you what, I have nothing. I have no production. I look at my lighting. There's a crooked light behind me. I'm better than them to put on a show with nothing. Got 600 subscribers the hard way. Because you know why? I'm a likable guy. And I like to have fun. And I like to laugh. And I talk to the people in my comments like a regular human being would. That's why. And I'm confident. Yeah. It would be fun to hang out with John A. Light and Mikey Scars. Yeah, it'd be fun. I mean, that would be nice. So I'm a one-man show, and I got my people in here that help me. That's my crutch. That's my crutch. And I'm more of like, I tell these stories, blah, 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 blah. But those people that have been in here watching me for quite a spell now, they know I like to have fun in life. Life is short. I died once. Life is short. Every day is precious to me. I like to have fun and laugh. I'm not stressing whatever with all this. I get aggy at these phony gangsters that come on YouTube, but I have to have content for my channel. I got to hustle too, all right? I got to hustle myself. So, Dom Cicali, and I'll get there to 1,000 subscribers. I'm rising up, and you guys keep me going. The 4 mics, Erica, I really don't like to talk about family in here, just like, but, I appreciate you coming in here, honey, and everything. But sometimes I'd like to remain some anonymity about my precious family member here. You know what I mean. I appreciate you coming in here, honey, but because there's weirdos out there, whatever, never mind. So tell Uncle Jimmy and everybody, Uncle Joe loves you. I always spread love and compassion, and I always tell, you know what? Don't tell the people you love them at a funeral. Tell them while they're alive. All right? All these tough guys running around, they can't tie their shoes. A strong man is an emotional man and not afraid to show and express his feelings. We're getting into psychology now here. What have you done to me, Aishna? What have you done to me? Oh, well, I love the action, and we rock and roll. I appreciate it, and we're growing. We're getting there. We're getting there, folks. We're getting there. We're getting there, and we're growing, and we'll have 1,000 subscribers hopefully by summertime. Maybe, we might, somewhere along the line, we might get there. So,
do you know the U.S. solar?
No, I don't. No, I don't know. Let's hear it for Erica Jamil. Let's hear it for Philly Bob. Let's hear it for Brittany. Let's hear it for DC White Boy, who is the only guy that supported my channel. Thank you, DC White Boy. Are you on tour? Are you traveling? Are you on tour? Thank you, sir. Let's hear it from Mike Tadaro, Mike Candinas, Mike Amari, Mike Mormil. All right. Philly Bob. And let's hear it for the truth serum. Let's hear it for your host, for me, for once, folks. What? My thing went out? I can't catch a break. Let's hear it for Leon Swan. I try to give myself some applaud here. And what are the demons here? The demons? My thing malfunctions? Here we go. Jeez. And Leon Swan might be my first subscriber that's been riding with me a long time. What an accomplishment. I had a subscriber. I went to give myself the applaud and it malfunctioned. Man. You wonder why I'm nuts? You guys actually figure this out by now? And do you wonder why I've lost my mind? That's all right. We like to have fun. File it under fun, not crazy. File it under fun. I don't have a script. I don't have a teleprompter. I could carry a network TV show. If I had guests, I have interview skills, I have knowledge on everything, educated in everything, street smart. If I had guests here, prominent guests, I would do the best interviews. Someday, maybe I will. Someday, maybe I will. I'm confident. You guys have to be confident in your goals and dreams. You have to think it first before to manifest into reality. Think it first and then manifest it. No, I can't. My battery's burned out because I thought it was plugged in. My battery's burned out, honey. But we'll talk on the phone, honey. We'll talk on the phone. Yeah, try to get John on your show and have a conversation. He complimented my channel. I don't know if it was somebody impostering because it's a rodeo on YouTube, yeah, and Mikey Scars. You don't know if it's people or not, but it was supposed to be from John Alite's camp. I don't know. I don't know, but he said, good topic, whatever I was talking about. He says, keep going. I like your show. And I thought, geez, if that's really him, that made me confident. I am confident, but sometimes you need a little push to keep going. And I like that. I like that. So that's why I support John Alite, not because he supported me or anything, because the fact that he's a real deal. He's the real deal. He's the real guy that I'd want to be around, to have fun with and laugh and be real about things. Look at this Mama Luke, Mike Francis, and this Mama Luke, Sammy the Bull Gravano, that are the YouTube mob heroes. Their rank is falsified. Their rank in the mob is false. And an Albanian, John Alite, an Albanian who wasn't a made man, is more of a gangster than both of them clowns put together. Boots on the ground, seeing it in the mafia world. And anybody would know that anyways. Anybody would know that. That's common knowledge. That's common knowledge. If you want to talk about factual mob-related stuff, or you just want to be entertained by big studio productions and all that, bells and whistles, then that's your prerogative. That's entertainment. You can just go up there and listen to all that bull crap and support them with everything. I mean, go ahead. So, my battery's going to run out here. And, I don't have fancy equipment and chargers and all this stuff like these. I ride by the seat of my pants, and my show and my host abilities to do a talk show is way better than them clowns. Way better. And I'm tooting my own horn, or maybe I'm an egotistic guy, but you have to be confident. And that's a no-brainer anyways. That's a no-brainer. Maybe someday somebody might say, and somebody might go, hey, watch this truth serum. You know what? He does carry a show with nothing. He's a natural. He's unscripted. He just rides along, and he's a natural. You know what? Maybe we'll use him here. You never know. You got to have dreams. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Yeah. That's all. No, I can't remember. I don't remember that story, honey. You gotta refresh my memory. I got 1% left on my battery. My mind is shot, Haishna. My mind is shot. I know he's watching, but I'll do it on the next one. I'll do it on the next one because I'm gonna start telling it, and then it's gonna bleep out. My screen's gonna bleep out, and I always want to do a proper ending on the show. I want to do a proper ending here, So be the kings and queens of your world. Don't give up. Haitian knows she's a queen. Brittany knows she's a queen. The world is a vampire. It wants that blood from the juggler. Don't give up. Don't be depressed. Don't do drugs. Don't do all these maladaptive behaviors. Be confident. I'm telling you, if nobody else is telling you in your world, in your surroundings, I'm telling you, you're the queen. I'm telling you, you're the king. Rise up. Don't let the world beat the crap out of you. You can be and do whatever you want to be. All right? I'm living proof. I'm dead on life support. I'm back. And got 600 subscribers the hard way. So it was a tough road, but you got to still keep throwing punches. You know how many successful people that in all areas of life were torn down, ripped apart. They got up off the canvas and kept fighting. It's just not handed to you. It's just not handed to you. If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. You know? So hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, and do all that good stuff. DC White Boy, I don't know if you're in Italy or if you're back or whatever. I'm confused, but you supported my channel. I appreciate that. And someone else did my Cash App. Forgive me. My Cash App. $ Joseph Monty, capital J, capital M, 613. There's a link in there to the book. I'm the greatest author that ever lived. I don't care how many books I sold, but I know I'm the greatest author that ever walked the planet. The world will catch up. The world will catch up. And after I sold 100,000 copies, I'm going to say, I told you so, folks. I told you so. All right? And I'm also a motivational speaker. All right. Thank you, God, Jesus, whoever you believe in, powers. Thank you, universe, for giving me this day and to give me this day so I can laugh and love. I love you all. I love my Haitian, and we're going to keep doing it. So thank you for your support. You know how to support my channel. Everything's in there. And 1,000 subscribers. We got 670 right now. We're not just going to say, wow, let's get 700 subscribers. Nah, we're gonna leapfrog that. We're going for 1,000 subscribers. You got to think big, folks. You can't think small. Think big. We're going for 1,000 subscribers. And then after 1,000, what are we going for? 2,000 subscribers? No, after we get 1,000 subscribers, we're going for 5,000 subscribers. That's how we do it here, folks. So I appreciate everything. I'm chirping like a mofo, Haitian. I'm chirping. I'm better than any talk show host on planet Earth. I'm better. I got to get these teeth cleaned up, but I'm better. All right. Oh, wow. Holy cow. You get it all. You get it all. Even some stand-up comic, some stand-up comedy here. Some stand-up comedy. That's all. Some stand-up comedy. That's all. We do it all here. Some stand-up comedy. Wow, you like that one, Haitian? Yeah, I just came back from the dentist. I had my teeth cleaned. Yeah, I had my teeth cleaned. Yeah. He did a good job. Yeah. All right, folks, enough is enough. Thank you. God bless. Support the channel if you can. If you can't do it monetarily, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Subscribe. God bless you all. Thank you.